it's been a little bit of time since I did a video, and honestly a big part of that's just because I've been busy, really insanely busy. After Cascade, I was really motivated, and it was very clear kind of where everybody was. And when I kind of looked at the face value of the riders, I'm like, we need to do more. We've got to be able to come into the next season with some more firepower. The season started solidly and we learned a lot. But now as we're moving forward, it's time to turn up the dial. I've been laying the foundation with a lot of guys who were just kind of more in support roles. Joey Bacala, Rex Roberts, and just want to see them kind of evolve and move forward and take their training up a notch and their performance and everything, and really excited about that.
So Joey here, he's a little bit interesting because we started working a year ago, and a year ago I said to him, Joey, if I was going to build a skyscraper, if I was going to approach development the way I wanted to, and somebody said, I'll give you 10 years of my life, I would approach it very differently than how I would approach it with just a normal client. Because a normal client is focused on short-term results. But Joey, what did you say to me? Nah, I'll give you your 10 years. Yeah. Do what you think is necessary.
That's right, yeah.
Build a skyscraper. So I said, okay, then for a year, we're just gonna focus on these other things, and we're not even gonna worry at all about your short-term performance. We just want to work on building your foundation, building your engine.
It's the underlying stuff, right?
It's the underlying stuff, your process, etc. And now it's time to turn that dial up to 11 and build up.
Lactate strips. Gotta get stocked up on these. These are not cheap. Each one of these strip is about $2. So it doesn't cost nothing to do a test. I have just a lot of ideas, and my brain has just been really going on overdrive trying to figure out how do I move forward, what's the next step. And actually really excited because there's a lot of kind of new crazy thoughts floating around my head that I'm excited to get started on and kind of figure out and work on. And what's great is I've got this guy over here who's like, yeah, give me your give me your crazy ideas, and I'll raise you a crazy idea. So where it's just like, okay, well, what if we did this? Oh, awesome. What if we did that? And it's like we're just kind of bouncing back and forth. It's like, how do we build the engine? How do we make it lighter? How do we go faster? What are the components of speed and everything? Like, how do you put all of those things together? And I have so many things that have been kind of on the back burner because I've been focused on racing. But now we're getting to the off season. So this is the part that is fun for me, where we can actually start to roll up the sleeves and tinker.
And
if you're toe pointed like you would have been.
The thing is, like, it doesn't happen instantly, right? It takes me a while to probably adjust my ankling.
What's that you got there?
So I'm flipping through. This is the official records from the USCF, back when it was called that, of the first time John Frey broke the 40K record in 1984. And he did a 51:57.
So, Joey, tell me a little bit about this. Why is this relevant?
Well, John Frey, who, if you were around in the 1980s or 90s, needs no introduction, was one of the greatest American time trialists, kind of on that domestic scene. He broke the 40K record, I don't know how many times, but he held it continuously from 84 to 87, lost it for a year, and then set a new record in 1990 that has stood for 29 years. And talking with people that were there that day, I heard a lot of things like that it can't be broken, and that there was something in the air. It was magical. It was calm on the way to the turnaround, and then a ripping tailwind coming back. But I mean, as we're starting to dig into this and look at what John was doing, he got a lot of things right. His position, his bike, his tires, his clothing. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. And knowing John and seeing the engine that he still has to this day, it's really not that surprising that that record has stood as long as it has. Last year, I had just finished building up my new speed concept, maybe like a couple of weeks before that time trial, and I was out of shape, right? The season had ended for me in June, and we had just been doing a lot of off-season prep. But because I had the fresh bike, it's like, hey, you know, there's a 40K, it's close to my house, it sounds like a fun event, it makes sense, let's go. So we really just, I went out there to kind of get a baseline and just see where I was at. And we did good, and was within a minute of breaking the record. You know, the closest anybody had been to breaking that record on that course in probably over a decade. So that was the next morning. I said, okay, you know, I've got 364 days to find another 64 seconds. So home stretch here. We're what, like 2 months to go?
Yeah.
And we're turning up the heat and kind of putting some of the pieces together and thinking that, yeah, September could be a big race for me. What's on your mind, Jordan?
You know, we're just, you know, we've been messing around with the TT Fit here, and we made a lot of progress, and it feels familiar, you know? Like, here, it's 12:30 at night, and we're tinkering around with the TT bike, and you know, I've been here before, and with Eno, with Corey, spent a lot of time with Justin, and it's just, I don't know, a little wistful, I guess. You know, I mean, you look over there at the wall, those jerseys, like they're a direct result of these late nights. Redlands, Nationals, Chico, like, I haven't even hung Eno's jersey yet. This is from Chico this year. So, probably put it there.
Yeah.
Late nights and early mornings.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just, this is what I love to do. I enjoy it. And I'm excited for next year and what we're gonna get after with the 40K record. Or I think you can get that. So it's, I'm excited. And then at the same time, it was built from a lot of work that I've already done. And so it's just thinking about other late nights. So, yeah.
All right, so that's forward.
Yeah. I could. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's see the other one. Kind of more.
Yeah. So what's happening is forward raises my elbows.
Yeah, it
Right?
does. Yeah.
Watch where they look at where my elbows are now. They're like way down there
Yeah.
versus that.
Okay.
So coming back could be all right, but it might necessitate raising the whole front end, just everything.
So how is the position? What do you think?
Power is really good. The front end, I won't call it comfortable, but it's actually
We can tweak it.
better than I expected. I'm trying to think, like maybe either a little bit of tilt in the saddle,
Something.
something.
We're gonna do, let's see, a run out and back in a couple of different positions. We'll just see which ones make sense.
Shout out to Semper Porro watch.
So it's pretty late at night, which is common. And Justin is finishing up some rice.
Still eating.
Bloody nose. It's kind of been hitting him off and on for years. And
It's been really bad recently.
yeah.
Like in the past month.
This is the part of Semper Porro that I think is important to show, honestly. You know, the late nights, the eating giant tubs of rice, and you know, just the day-to-day grind, the not sexy part, the not interesting.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's pretty interesting and sexy.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, cycling is not easy. It's incredibly difficult, and I think from the outside, sometimes you see that things just sort of magically happen, but it's hard, and it's really freaking hard, and it sucks. And usually when people come to me and they say, "Oh yeah, make me great. I want to go and be a pro," I'm like, why? Why would you want this life?
It's so freaking hard. It's just like, but I mean, this is who we are. So we're finishing up a block. You got back from To America's Dairylands at the start of the month of July, and we've just been training. Had to take away your phone for a week there, which has been good though. Like, you've been able to focus really well. This is your best block of training you've had.
You didn't take away my phone. You just recommended that I take a break from it, and I did, and it worked out really well. I figured out everything that I needed to, because I was actually really struggling training right before that, and I would go out for a ride at 2 o'clock for a 4-hour ride, and then come back, 5 hours later, and I didn't really train. It was just I was just kind of pedaling around, and I was bonking and
tooling around on your bike.
Yeah. So now I've been consistently actually training.
Yeah.
And it's been really good.
You know, I think Justin brings up a good point, and it's something that I've said to him a lot, and he knows it, but I don't always convey it necessarily in this series, and that is, I can't make him do anything. Literally, as a coach, everything that I do or say is just a recommendation. And I am saying it because our interests are aligned in such a way that I would never give Justin a recommendation that is not in his best interest. Because if he were to fail, then I literally get nothing. Our mutually agreed upon contract is that I only get something if he succeeds. So I really want him to succeed. And a lot of what we've had to work on is just process, is learning how to eat, learning how to have discipline, setting clear boundaries for Justin, and all of these things. A lot of little details, process-oriented things like making your bed, cleaning your bike, doing your training, uploading. All these things that just, they seem obvious if you're a professional, but if you're a kid who shows up at 18 and, a lot of those things have to be taught. The training is the easy part. If somebody showed up and did exactly what I asked them to, they will move forward very rapidly. But that's the problem. Most people don't know how to do exactly what I asked them to do. It's, I suppose like any high-level engineer or doctor or anybody, if you walked into an operating room and a doctor says, "Okay, I need you to do this, 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 and this," you've got to be able to speak the same language. You've got to be able to have a certain skill set. And that is what I'm teaching Justin.
It's been close to 3 years now.
Yeah.
It's crazy how that time's gone.
Late September will be 3 years.
Yeah. It's been grown a lot in that time.
And still building brick by brick towards the top level. So
I'm excited. My bricks have been getting less and less fragile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel good. My just progress has, things are starting to click into place, and it's cool to see from my end. But yeah, onward.
You know, it's amazing. We kind of made a lot of those changes to the training and aerodynamics, the position. Things have gotten a lot better, a lot faster, obviously. You know, today was a much easier time trial than a month ago was, and I went a lot faster. Unfortunately, we're up against it in terms of time. You know, it really, to make meaningful changes takes quite a while. You have to really just kind of stay in there and grind away for 6, 8, 12 weeks. And we had a month to work with. So the current trajectory of the way everything's moving, like, whew, it's gonna be very close. Not a given, that's for sure.
Hey, thanks for watching. For further information, you can check us out at semperporro.com, and you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram. And I also really just want to kind of put an invitation out there. If you have questions, feel free to hit me up. My information is on the website, and you can send messages. And, you know, I want to have as open door of a policy as possible. You know, I'm here to help people if they have questions. Doesn't matter how silly or whatever they might seem, because, you know, we've all been in a position where we're trying to figure things out and move forward. And that's, you know, that's what I love, actually, is just to get in there and figure things out and help people move forward. That's why I'm a coach. So yeah, reach out, hit me up, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. As always, thanks for watching, and keep the rubber side down. Sandwich?
No,
Meat cookie.
it's
What?
my meat cookie.
What is that?
Pork chop.
It's just pork chop.
Hey Joey, how's your workout going?